Welcome back to Rogue Darkness. I'm your host of the Grim and Gruesome, Raven. In this episode, we're going to explore the shadowed corners of folklore, and we'll be venturing deep into the heart of the woods, into the dark forest whispered about in Appalachian folklore, where something might be listening, mimicking, and waiting. I titled this episode, Echoes in the Woods, Mimics, and the Fae. But what inspired it? Well, much like my episode where blood rained down from the ceiling in one of my dreams, this too was inspired by a dream, one so real it still sends chills down my spine. It started just like any other night. I was fast asleep, dreaming. In the dream, I was back in my childhood home. The kitchen, the same tiled floors I remembered, with the long aisle of cabinets lining the kitchen walls. Everything was quiet, until I heard something from the back patio. There was a faint sound coming from the woods out back. A voice. My voice. It called out, faint, but unmistakably me.
Hello?
I turned the corner toward the patio door and looked outside. That's when I saw it. It looked like a child, maybe 12 years old, but it wasn't. Its skin was pale, its eyes pitch black like obsidian. The smile on its face stretched just a little too wide, revealing rows of sharp, shark-like teeth. And then, more appeared. 4, maybe 5 more of the same creature, all grinning, all approaching. I screamed, and then I woke up. It didn't feel like a dream. It felt more like a warning. In Appalachian folklore, mimics are spirit-like creatures, known for one chilling trait. They imitate. Voices, sounds, sometimes even appearance. Most often, it's someone you know. Or worse, it's you being mimicked. These tales often start the same. A person walking alone in the woods hears a familiar voice call their name. They follow the sound, only to realize too late it wasn't who they had initially thought. Sometimes the people vanish. Other times they're found in a dream-like daze, several days after the supposed encounter. Whether these beings are spirits, cryptids, or some psychic phenomenon, one thing is certain. They know how to use our greatest weakness, familiarity, against us. Could these Appalachian mimics be something older than the region itself? Let's take a step back, across the ocean to Celtic and British Isles folklore. In the 1880 book British Goblins, fairies were far from friendly. They were shapeshifters, lurers, and deceivers. Some would call out in the voice of a loved one to draw you into the woods. Others would switch your child for a changeling. Another book, Fairy Lore in Gaelic and English, collected tales of similar entities, spirits of the hills and mists that would lead people astray or mimic their cries. The connections are eerie. As settlers brought their folklore to the Appalachians, stories likely merged with local indigenous legends, evolving into what we now call mimics. But whether fae, spirit, or something nameless, these entities have one thing in common. They're watchers, and they imitate. Even nature uses mimicry for survival. Birds like the lyrebird can replicate human voices, chainsaws, even camera shutters. Some flowers trick bees into pollinating them by mimicking the scent of a mate. In the open access paper, Mimicry and Deception in Pollination, researchers describe how certain orchids fake being female bees to get attention from male pollinators. The result? Complete biological deception. So here's the question. What if spirits or supernatural entities use a similar survival mechanism? Not evolution in a physical sense, but a spiritual adaptation, a way to lure, trap, or simply play with us. So how do you protect yourself from something that sounds like your mother or yourself? Folklore across cultures offers clues. Don't give your name freely. Names hold power. Carry iron. It's long believed to repel fae and malicious spirits. Use salt, bells, or sage. All traditional tools of protection. And never ever follow a voice into the woods, especially if it shouldn't be there. So what did I see in that dream? Was it just a trick of my subconscious? Or did something mimic me? By showing itself in my dream, could it have been something more sinister emerging from somewhere deeper? Maybe mimics are more than just stories. Maybe they're reminders that the veil between worlds is thinner than we think.
I am right behind you.
So thank you for joining me as we walk the echoing paths of mimicry and fae. Stay aware, stay protected, and remember, not every voice you hear may be coming from who you expect.
Don't be scared. I just want to play a game with you.